Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining me again, and let's continue a topic of conversation that we've started in the last couple of videos, and that's the idea of sin and error. So let's dive deeper into that today. Chapter 19 of the text of A Course in Miracles, section 3 today is the source. It's entitled The Unreality of Sin. So, if you're just tuning in, you are not a sinner. There is no sin. It is impossible. Perhaps you've always felt that. Maybe. Perhaps you've always known, and you may or may not have been raised in a religious or spiritual tradition that posits that each and every one of us is a sinner, unworthy of God and, well, deserving of punishment from on high. If you've ever deeply questioned that, then, well, perhaps this serves as a confirmation of something that you have always known. And it's also 100% possible that you won't receive it that way at all. So, however it lands for you, consider that you are watching for a reason. You are meant to be here, whether you've seen many of these videos or whether it's the first time and YouTube recommended it or you happened to stumble across it somehow. There's a reason why. So, whatever that may be, I invite you to stick around because the Holy Spirit, our inner teacher, has a message for you today. You'll know what it is when you hear it. You may experience extraordinary resistance to it or not. So, whatever it is, just know that resistance is of the ego, all of it. Delving back into the idea of sin, it contains something that we find very compelling when we think we're individuals here in the world. The idea of sin contains the attraction of guilt. As unflattering as it is, this conversation is 100% necessary for us because we've all been deeply attracted to guilt. Think of all of the multiple times, or even a few of many times in this lifetime, where you found yourself attracted to guilt, to feeling guilty for one thing or another, or to feeling like the victim of the world that you appear to see, that appears to be coming at you from outside you. Well, there is nothing outside you. This world that we appear, and I stress appear to inhabit, is coming from us, not at us. That's a major realization here on the path. And when that begins to sink in, you can begin to really, really viscerally and experientially recognize how important and how powerful the true forgiveness that this course teaches is. It is powerful. So we're all attracted to guilt. I mean, think of the way we label ourselves as sinners. It's almost like we label ourselves as really busy or overwhelmed, stressed, massively multitasking on a scale previously unknown to all humankind, doing, and exhausting ourselves. We see that as a badge of honor. What's wrong with this picture? A lot, because it does nothing but frustrate us. We see ourselves as sinners, and the idea is somehow attractive to us. We see ourselves as less than or limited in many different ways, and we're unwilling to let that go. The guilt is attractive to us. That's where we appear to find ourselves. And again, that may not land well for you. Okay. It lands how it lands. I mean, really, it does. Nobody ever said that awakening was, well, quick and easy. It could be, but we don't make it that way. And we don't because we've been conditioned to think that we're individual human beings, an ego, self-sustaining survival units running amok and competing with each other for what we deem to be extraordinarily scarce resources. And we've got to get ours before our brother gets ours. Because he's coming for our stuff or our status or our money or our property, our reputation. We're in a constant state of defensiveness and attack. No wonder we're exhausted. And again, no wonder we find ourselves on the spiritual path because we recognize there's another way. Oh, yeah, there most certainly is. The problem with this attraction of guilt is that in our mind, what we think is real, we want, and we won't let it go. Not easily, anyway. What we think is real, we want, and we won't let it go. Again, at least not easily. If you think that sin is even possible and real, then you'll crave it. You'll crave the guilt and will not be willing to let it go. The resistance that you may be feeling to this message right now is an expression of that. It's the ego that's resisting. The ego being our mistaken and false sense of individual self, despite the fact that we look out with the body's eyes, apparently look out and see 8 billion plus of these guys running around, different shapes, sizes, different genders on different parts of spinning ball of rock, all of that. Yeah, we look out and we appear to see multiplicity, yet it's illusion. In truth, there is only perfect oneness. And gradually, as need be, we're becoming aware of that. And this could seem like a long process. Well, consider that our inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, is not cruel and unkind. And if you're not ready to have the veil ripped off, then he's not going to do that to you. If you would be plunged into existential dread, the Holy Spirit's not going to plunge you into that. Our inner teacher is patient and knows what each and every one of us needs in any given moment. We'll never get more than we can handle. So it looks for almost all of us like a process. And you may find yourself thinking, well, this takes forever. When is awakening actually going to occur? But we don't know when in time that's actually going to take place. All we're in charge of is right now what we think, how we look at situations, people, events right now. That's it. And we could choose, rather than seeing sin and the attraction of guilt, wanting it and making it real for ourselves and being unwilling to let it go, we could see all of this separation as a mistake instead. Sin carries the idea of permanence and concreteness to it. A mistake, on the other hand, calls for correction. And we all naturally want to correct mistakes. Separation is simply a mistake. So if you change the status of sin to a mistake, you'll be much more likely to want to correct it, and you'll be much more likely to appeal to the loving guidance of our inner teacher for help in correcting your perception. Mistakes can be corrected. The Holy Spirit, by the way, doesn't even look at sin, looks right past through beyond that idea without even recognizing it at all. The Holy Spirit will correct mistakes in our mind. We have to be willing to allow him, it, to do so. Anything that is not wholly joyous, anything that's not loving, is a call for love. We go forth in life, and each and everything that we do, every single thing, everything that we say, all of our thoughts, all of it, all of these things are either expressions of love or they are a call for love. You may see this call for love, if someone's behaving badly, as a call for help or a cry for help. Indeed, that's 100% appropriate. It's what it is. And we have no problem taking a look at small children, toddlers that misbehave because they want attention from somebody, most often an adult. They want attention and they're doing whatever they know will bring them attention. And it could be really, really cute. It could be really wonderful, or it could be really naughty and destructive, and something you don't want them to do. But they'll do what they can to get attention. And when we look at these young children and we see that they're misbehaving, we have no problem thinking of that as a call for love, a call for help. What's the appropriate response? Love? Help? It's the same for us as adults. The Holy Spirit recognizes our calls for love. The appropriate response is love. And again, the guidance of our inner teacher is patient, infinitely patient and kind. So, what is sin but a call for love, a cry for help that we don't want to recognize, that we want to keep hidden? when you think about the fact that the Holy Spirit knows everything and can see what we're all doing, then it may dawn on you that it's kind of useless to try to keep all of these little secret hidden hates to myself. What we mean by this is that we have no problem forgiving a lot of people and a lot of things in the world. Yet there's always somebody or something or a group of people, perhaps it's a political party. I mean, I often use politics as an example of the ego at play. It makes no difference what your politics are or are not. It is a classic example on full display right in our face of the ego at play. Division, separation, defining and defending personal territory, things like that. It's the ego at play. And when we issue a call for help, the Holy Spirit always responds. Always. It's because the Holy Spirit is part of our mind. So, in asking for help, we're not appealing to an outside power. There is no power outside you. Extend that. God is not outside you either. There is no separation of any kind. Maybe that serves as a confirmation, again, of something that you feel somehow that you've always known, and you have. So, error, simple mistake, can be corrected. It calls for correction, and the Holy Spirit corrects it in our mind. We forgive. We show up with our little willingness to forgive. And we forgive what is on the surface of our lives, whether it's a person or a group of people, an event. I mean, it could be something as small as a passing cloud that obscures the sun for a moment and annoys you. I don't know. Anything that is not wholly joyous is, in fact, an opportunity for forgiveness. So we bring our present moment awareness to this. Because if you're not aware of an opportunity for forgiveness, you cannot possibly expect yourself to take that opportunity, which is why meditation and mindfulness practice is a thing in spirituality. If you've ever wondered, why am I sitting here quietly watching my breath? What's up with that? Well, that's what's up with that. So we can become aware of the opportunities to forgive. So we can become aware of the myriad opportunities that we have each day to connect with our inner teacher. Always loving, patient, kind, and all knowing. Part of our mind, we could choose to connect with this part of our mind, to listen to its guidance. That's a choice that we have right now. You've got it right now. We all do. So, along the way, because almost all of us have a gradual path, and we don't have any idea at what point a breakthrough or enlightenment or awakening or a major realization is going to come. Because of this, questions always arise. This is a very good place to ask them if you have them. And if you have additional comments, this is a place where you can leave them right here on YouTube. I do see them, all of them, in fact. So please feel welcome to ask questions if you've got them. And if you have not yet subscribed, we'd love to have you join us here. This is the prompt, that arrow in the corner of your screen. Click that, and you'll be invited to subscribe and join us. So please do. There have been a number of you who have joined recently, so thank you for doing that. There are many videos that appear each week because here in spirituality, because it's constant, moment to moment, day to day, there's a lot to talk about. All right. So thank you for tuning in. And please, again, ask any questions that you may have if you've got them. All right. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.